Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and good afternoon to our lecturer Dr. Izwan Amin bin Ishaq. So today we are from group 14. Today we will like to present about our group project color sensor. So we have two group member with me, Muhammad Syarizan bin Matsani and my fellow friend Muhammad Farid bin Azmi. Okay, so basically we will present about our introduction about what is color sensor and then the construction of design of the color sensor, type of color sensor, application of color sensor and also trend for the future for this color sensor. Alright, so introduction for color sensor. Color sensor is a component. There's a visible light that absorbed by matter, which is by using a visible light to spectrum of the electromagnetic spectrum. This is which mean we will differentiate the color. For example, red, blue, yellow, and this is have a wavelength which is range from 300 to 7300 meter per meter. That's human eyes can perceive only by the visible light. Okay, actually, what is a color sensor? Color sensor is a ability to determine the different color, which is they will be utilized the emitting light that look of the reflected by the light to determine the something of object. That's mean something's objects comes and then the sensor will be detect the color, which is we will differentiate the object by the color. This is will give actually this color sensor mostly we use in a machine that to differentiate the material using a color. Okay, next there are a few types of color sensor. Firstly, for a digital color sensor. For the digital color sensor is a commonly used in our industrial. They want a frequency to change the intensity of the light. There are no need to conditioning the circuit so we can connect directly to the microcontroller. Digital sensor, this is a new one before analog sensor. So digital sensor is a mostly uses and very useful in our industry. Next is a analog sensor. Analog sensor is a before of a digital sensor. Analog sensor at a signal that we will use for the current and voltage, so we need a conditional circuit. That's mean analog sensor we will do manually, and this is a become a difficult for our manufacturer to use it. By actually I prefer to a digital sensor because this is easily to use. And next we move to our next presenter. Right?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. Now I want to talk about construction and design of color sensor. Now we see as SI detector junction, a part of the incident light is reflected and another part is transmitted in SI, and generally absorbed in the detector, generally the output photocument, which is the electric signal used for further processing. And we see the symbol photodiode symbol. And we see now we going to the classic realization of a color sensor. Filter and detector as separate and independent elements. Next slide. Now we're going about the construction and design of color sensor, RGB filter. What is RGB filter? There are two ways to implement the RGB filter depending on the amount of types for each color and there. Now we're going to see the diagram. Incoming have three color: red, green, blue. Incoming light filter layer, sensor array, resulting pattern. Now we're going to the next slide. Now about construction and design of color sensor. About the second way, we use the same pattern in distribution, but the different in the amount of tiles. Nowadays, this pattern widely used color sensor like TCS 3200 color sensor. Next slide. Okay, about the type of color sensor, digital colors sensor TCS 3200. This type of color sensor is widely used in application. We have S0, S1, S2, S3. If S0, S1, output frequency scaling. If S2, S3, photo diodes type. Now we see the output frequency scaling, power down 2%, 20%, 100%. If photo diode type, red, blue, clear, and green. Next slide. Maybe application of color sensor. Nowadays, the color sensor is widely used in sorting, packaging, and controlling product in all industry like digital camera, recycling, and very important about food industry. Next slide. Now we going to the trend future. What is about color sensors that produce the ready intensity and color value are likely to be developed in the future. Now with thanks to improvement in electronics, optics, and software. About color sensor, discriminate between natural and artificial, like allowing smartphone makers to employ them widely in smartphone optical lens. And lastly, color sensor may be used to monitor environmental, biological, and chemical factors, among other things. Next slide. We go into the conclusion. Color sensor is one of the useful, costly, and fastest sensor used in industrial application to reduce manual working time and provide less human mistake when manual system is undertaken. Now that's my presentation. Thank you.
So that's all from us, Group 14. Thank you so much, Dr. Izwan, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.